Students broadsheet. In this section, we'll show you how to access your broadsheet, use it to promote students, use it to view detailed information about students' performance in classes, and also use it to evaluate other information regarding your school in terms of how your students are doing well in different classes. A broadsheet gives you a broad overview of the performances of students in different grades. In this new version, you can check broadsheet for subjects, for behaviors, for skills, and for attendance. So let's get right on. To view a broadsheet, you select the right term. In this case here, when you load this page, nersapp would tend to match. If there are broadsheets for this current term here, nersapp would tend to pick that term, and from there would load the classes there and select one of the class. Also again, there are other terms found here. You can go back to previous term to view their broadsheets. And also again, in some cases where you have a particular session, you can have what we call a cumulative broadsheet. Cumulative broadsheet will pop up when you start having up to 2 terms of broadsheets. In this case here, this session here, called my custom session, has 2 terms called red and blue, or has broadsheet for 2 terms here, red and blue. And because of that, there is also a cumulative one that combines all the broadsheets for the different terms together. But in this example, we only have 1 term, first term. You pick the term, pick the right class you're dealing with, and pick the broadsheet you want to view at first instance. In this case, we want to view subject. We can view for behavior, skills, and attendance. So let's leave it here and click load. When you load broadsheet, this is what gets to appear. You get to see the session, the term, the class, the average performance. In this case now, this is the average performance for just subjects only, not for behavior, skills, and the rest, just for subjects. And the total records, in this case here, is 18 records. The reason why it's 18 is because there are about 3 students in the class and there are about 6 subjects. So 3 times 6 gives us 18 records, because we're also doing subjects here. Below top left corner, you see this information are arranged based on the student names. You can also arrange it based on the performances. But the performances is what you see in the particular column called performance. As you can see, I just clicked here and it arranges in performance from descending order. For instance, this student here scored 81, the next person 74, next person 17. So we can switch back to names, so you can sort it in the name format. Beside it, you see a group of keys, very important keys, that shows you the statuses of each student in terms of performance. The first one here is pass. The color there is green. As you can see, for each of the student row, there is a green marking there that shows that all of them pass. In this case here now, we have the promote. The promote has a blue color. In this team is blue, and in this new version of nersapp, you can single promote student, you can double promote student. For single promote, the student can jump to a class ahead. For double promote, the student can jump 2 classes ahead. You can also graduate students from this environment, especially if your school has a if, for instance, in this example here, let's assume it's just a nursery school and a student reaches the final class in that nursery, the next level would be to graduate that student in your school. Otherwise, if there are other levels, then the student should be pushed to the next level. And we have the yellow or orange color here that depicts fail. Student can fail in a class for a particular term, but if it's not a promotional term, you wouldn't use the word fail. So you use the next one, which is called repeat. The repeat there has a red color. That means it's possible that during your promotional term, a student can repeat. So instead of using fail, you use the word repeat to denote that kind of student. Beside it, you see the number of records that are available. In this case now, it's 18 for subjects. Beside it again, there is a button called expand. The expand button is useful for subjects. In this case, as you can see, this is a student name. The assessment here is showing you just total score. But what if you want to see both the assessment like test, exams? You click the expand button. That would expand to show you other assessment like tests, exams, total for each of the students there. You can click it again to compress, if you want to keep the environment minimal, so you can expand. Beside it, in this case now we're dealing with subjects. We'll show you all the subjects in terms of total score or assessment scores. So from here you can view the information. If there are any challenges, you can simply fix it, or probably delete this report card by going to final report to delete them and regenerate the report again before coming back here to Broadsheet. And this is it. And at the end, you also get the performance information and the position in terms of subjects, not for entire class. We can switch from subject to behavior, and you can see there in behavior we consider the assessment as rating for the different behaviors, in this case here punctuality, honesty, down to cooperation. You can also see the performance information for behavior and the position in terms of behavior. We can do same for skills if your school handles skills also, and also we can do same for attendance. This information are considered as info type of information. You can switch from info type of information to graph type or graphic. The graphic will give you two sets of information. Will give you the student performance information in terms of that particular type of grade. In this case, attendance now. You can see this is Naomi, Pikabo, and this is Priscilla. Here they all did well, more than Priscilla. We can still check below to see the attendance score now in terms of present, absent, late, and punctual. So this is the combined performance for the student. In this case, when you see here present, that means they are more present than absent and late. That means they are doing well. In terms of punctuality, they are also doing well, because the score here says 9291.3, almost 300. If we switch to skills, you get different information in terms of their skills performances and also their combined performances. As you can see, handwriting and craft making, they did well. They complete 300. And swimming, they also tried in terms of combined performances 240 out of 300. So the ones they didn't do well was outdoor and indoors. So this is their combined effort. This is very important if you need to know the brilliancy of your class or how your class is performing. We can also check the behavior information too, in terms of their individual performances and their combined performances. As you can see, punctuality, cooperation, and self-control, they did well with 300. The rest, they also tried like the friendliness. They were more friendly to themselves, so about 280. And in terms of humility, they also did well a little bit. Tenacity, they weren't hardworking, so that class wasn't hardworking. So as a teacher or as a manager, you would know what to do to improve the level of hardworking in terms of behavior for that class. We can do for subjects, their individual performance in terms of subjects, and also their combined performances. In their combined performances, you can see here that they did very well combinedly in Yoruba, so this class understand Yoruba very well. They also did well in English, they did well in maths. So these are ways of showing you how your class is performing and how you can do to improve this class in the different aspect of grade you are considering. From here, you can export report by simply clicking export. That will download an Excel spreadsheet. We advise schools to always export their broadsheet and have a copy of the broadsheet offline. As you can see in this copy of Excel specialized broadsheet, the attendance report is here for this nursery 1A. The skill report is there, the behavior is there, and the subject is there. So this information can be kept for personal use or for future reference.